What's up, guys? Bienvenido to another episode of Aque, Mando podcast. I'm your host, La Chula G.
And I'm the realest on your team, Ransom.
Hi, Ransom.
I know.
I love she does this every fucking episode. We've been doing this how long now, and it's still
Still a little Aque.
it's okay. Before we get tonight started, we want to shout out our official sponsor, Be Good Dispensaries, for providing us all of this fucking shit we have here.
The cameraman, the makeup ladies,
Oh my gosh.
security.
The high quality cannabis that you guys can find at Broadway and Hampton. Pull up, get your smoke on, and have a great time.
Yeah, I can get blowed.
Well, Ransom, we have a very special guest in the building. Go ahead and read number 2.
We have a special guest in the building. You might have you might have heard of her on the Mexican radio or even a few commercials, but this is Chula G's tu madre.
Welcome, welcome.
You're supposed to
you,
shake.
What up, girl?
You're supposed to shake ass.
What's your name, girl?
My name's Olivia.
Ooh.
Hello, Olivia.
Apparently, I'm not supposed to call her mom, but that is my mom. I've had my son on. Now it's time for my mom. I know she's been like, when are you guys gonna do something, a serious pod? Like, we need to use your guys' platform for some knowledge. And I'm like, all right, well, who else can better do that than yours truly?
Sorry, I was trying to see if I look okay. No, I don't got my
Nobody
braids
told
in.
us.
I don't got my braids in.
All right, so we brought you here today, Miss Olivia, because we know that you've been in the auto injury field for over 20 years now, and I feel like a lot of people aren't hip to the shit when it comes to what to do when you're in an auto accident. So we want to go ahead. Ransom wants to tell us the different type of laws that there are out here.
Yeah.
Number 4.
So we're going to go ahead and list different types of laws. Sorry, I didn't.
Criminal.
Where am I? Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm so dyslexic. All right, so
smoky
there's
little.
criminal, civil, personal injury, family, immigration, employment and labor, business, corporate, real estate, what is that?
Intellectual.
Properties, yeah, bankruptcies and tax and more.
Yeah,
Damn, that's a
there's
lot.
lots more. I do
Put the mic closer to your
personal
mouth.
injury,
There you go.
not just auto accidents, but personal injury.
Is there a difference?
There is. Personal injury is slip and falls. If you're at someone's
comp.
house, no, work comp is work comp.
Oh, okay.
Anywhere that you get, anytime that you're injured. So if you go to an event and you're injured there, you go to somebody's house, you're injured there, you slip and fall at a store, in the ice, in the parking lot, auto accidents, dog bites.
Oh,
all
dang.
of those
Everything.
are personal injury.
Everything we pray for at the moment, we're like,
Dang.
right?
Okay.
Yes.
I'll get bit by this dog. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, there's so much of it, and there is a whole bunch more law than what you guys listed.
Let's see. So, if I'm in an auto accident, what's like the step by step? What would you tell somebody to do?
I would tell you to call the police. While you're waiting for the police, take pictures. Take pictures of your car, their auto insurance, their driver's license. Talk to them. It's an accident. There's nothing wrong with you talking to who you're in the accident with. If you're injured, make sure that you're okay and stuff, that they're okay. They're always going to ask you, do you need the ambulance to come? But it's always important to get all of the information, take pictures.
Yep.
Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Like, take as many pictures as you can
The whole scene.
at the scene. Yeah. And it's not, and take a picture of the cars up close, take them a little bit far back.
Mhm.
Sometimes people forget. So take a picture where you are. Am I at this intersection, this highway close to this mile marker? Take pictures because it's going to just help you later on down the road.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you call the cops right away? Like, what do you?
Well, you want to call the cops, all the time so that it's reported. lots of times people be like, oh, we're fine. Let's just work this out. If you're on accident alert, the police are going to say, just exchange information if there's no injuries.
Okay.
So you still want to at least make that phone call, because they keep records of all the phone calls. So even if a police doesn't come out, we can be like, hey, we want the phone call records, and we'll see when other people call and say, hey, I just saw an accident here, here, and here.
Oh.
Your person calling and saying, hey, we were just in this accident. So you want to call them even if they don't go out. You want to make sure that you do call.
Okay. Well, I feel like a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to file a claim. Okay, so let's clarify this. So you get in a car accident. People don't know, like, hey, I should go get a lawyer. Like, I could get money out of this, because they're like, I don't want to sue them. I don't want to take, money out of their family's mouths, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, yeah, that is a big concept that people think about, because the majority of people are like, I don't want to sue somebody because I don't want someone to sue me.
Right.
So you're not suing the person, you're suing insurance companies. And it isn't so much, your thought shouldn't be like, I can get money out of this. Your thought should be like, I'm hurt, I'm injured, I can't work, I can't support my family. How am I going to go to a doctor? What doctor I go to? Where do I start from? So the lawyers, we are here to help you kind of know, okay, this is where you go for treatment. This is how you get better. This is what you need to do. And at the end, if you get money, great. Your goal should be like, I just want to get better, back to the way I was before this whole accident happened. Same thing if it's a slip and fall accident. Take pictures of wherever you fell out, get names and numbers of people that saw you, what happened, get a copy of the incident report. But it's the same thing. You want to make sure that you're getting better, and we're here to help you find where to go to get better.
Right.
And at the end, like I said, if it's a bonus if you end up with money in your pocket. But lots of people are like, oh, accident, check, I get to retire now, I never have to work again. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Right, number 7.
Can you get a claim if you don't have papers?
Your immigration status has nothing to do with an accident, so you can still pursue a claim. The only time you can't pursue a claim is if you're at fault for it. If you rear-end me, your insurance isn't going to give you money because you caused it. It's only if you didn't cause it. That's the only time you wouldn't be able to get money, but your immigration status means nothing. You would still have a claim. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you pursue it. And not only, like I said, for the money-wise, is to get better, to get back to the way you were before the incident happened.
Damn, even this is even like with insurance. Well, I mean, without insurance either. No, right? Without insurance, you're fucked, straight up.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
talk
that's
about that.
a whole other conversation. But let's just say, for example, it was me and you that got into the accident. Your insurance is, who caused it is insurance number 1 that takes care of it. And what people don't understand is when they purchase insurance, what you want is uninsured motorists. That's what you carry. So that would be my insurance. That's the only way I can protect me, is carrying that insurance. That covers you when the other person doesn't have enough insurance, or if they have no insurance.
Okay.
So lots of times, unfortunately, you'll see that people be like, yeah, this person, hit me and ran, or they had no insurance, and then they don't have any uninsured motorists, and then you're screwed. You get nothing.
So you just got to get that to pretty much like liability, something to save you.
No, liability.
So liability
Okay,
is
yeah,
a
tell
whole,
that.
whole different thing
No.
either.
No, because I feel like people are always like, well,
Well-
I don't want full coverage. I have liability. Like, it's good enough, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Because
Or there's-
liability is pretty much like you're
So-
gonna help. You're okay. Like you're gonna be safe with someone else, but you're fucked in your own spot.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, well, people always be like, oh, I have full coverage, I'm good. So full coverage and liability is just property damage.
Ooh.
It's just cars.
Just.
Liability means, okay, if I have liability and I hit somebody, my insurance is going to pay for their car. That's the only thing liability means. Full coverage means is if I'm in an accident, regardless of who's at fault, my insurance will pay for my property damage.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's the difference between liability and full coverage, but it's just for vehicles. It's just property.
Yeah.
So nothing medical.
Uninsured motorist is what covers your injuries.
Oh.
That's what you want to carry. You can have liability and have uninsured motorists, and that's what you want to have to make sure that you're covered. MedPay, is kind of a different
Can you
thing.
hear her?
MedPay
Are you
is
closer to the mic?
MedPay is it covers your medical bills. So you can purchase that, but if you have health insurance, they're going to cover all your medical bills too. If you have neither one, we can still help you get your treatment. But like I
This
said,
is a lot.
Damn.
people buy insurance and they don't know, because then the agent's like, just sign here. This is all you need. You're good. No, you're
When
not.
really
It's not.
this.
Yeah, they don't explain it to you. And in Colorado, you only have to carry $25,000. You go to the emergency room, get a couple X-rays, be there for what, 4 or 5 hours, and the doctor sees you for 25, 30 minutes, you walk out with a $45,000 bill.
Dang.
So 25,000 is nothing.
Right.
It's nothing. You want to get more coverage. It's going to cost you a little bit more to have higher coverage and to carry the uninsured motorist, but the difference could be like $10 a month. So, and that's the only way that you can fully make sure you're covered is you carry uninsured motorists.
That's good to know.
Hey, write that
It-
down.
it
No,
is,
because
yeah.
a lot of people don't know that, especially like
Me?
Hispanics too. I feel like because all my friends are like Fred Loya. You know what I mean? This is the cheapest
Fred
rate,
Loya.
of course, because you get fucked later, dude. Like, what's your
Yeah.
life worth to you in the end? You know what I mean?
And I don't want to talk. I mean, there's lots of insurance companies I don't like. But yeah, they are, and they take advantage of people who are like, this is cheap, this is all you need, but they're not explaining to you this is why it's cheap, because you're not covered at all. You have nothing.
Insurance is just a big ass
Nothing at all.
scam to me.
Yeah, they do. They charge so much, and they don't explain to you what it is. So many people I've seen, they're like so hurt, and they're like, I've been paying insurance for years, and I've never been in an accident. And I'm like, yeah, and now that you need them, you have nothing because you didn't pay attention to what you were purchasing. I
Right.
tell people all the time, call me. Let me see your insurance policy. I'll tell you what you have. This is what you need to have. This
I
is
thought
what
you
you
were pulling
don't
out
have
your
to
insurance
have.
card, bitch.
No, I tell people when I'm on the radio, I'm like, call me. Here's my number. Call me. I'll tell you what you have. Because you
Right.
never know. You never know what you're going to have, when you're going to need it. It's an accident. That's what it's for.
Right.
But I have people call me all the time. Well, this is what my policy is. I'm like, you have this, you have this, you have this. And you can play with your rates all the time and look and see, if I change this, if I up this, if I remove that. And then they
Right.
will, you're covered. And the same thing, the other thing they forget about is a lot of people that own their car, it's already paid off. They think, oh, I just need liability, nothing else. If you get uninsured property damage, let's say somebody hits you and they don't have insurance and you don't have comp and collision because you just had liability. If you carry that uninsured property damage, your insurance will pay for your car.
Wow.
And it's maybe like $4 or $5 difference a
Yo.
month.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Everybody take fucking notes right now.
For real.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
You
Free
be
game.
calling your mom when you switch insurance and stuff?
Oh, she's on my policy now, actually.
No, we're all on the
Well, no,
same
yeah.
same policy.
Yeah.
And there's just so much. I can talk for this for hours, for
yeah,
days.
call her because we're not
But
talking
your
about it on here.
uninsured motorist, so how we live together, we're on the same policy.
We don't live together.
People will.
Saying that. For insurance purposes
let
only.
me explain. Let me explain to you. So there's
Mom?
there's 4 different cars on the policy. The insurance company will be like, okay, you just need uninsured motorists on 1 car. And so they're like, this is cheaper. We're saving you money. Instead of being, okay, there's 100 on this car, 100 on this car, 100 on this. You actually have 300 in coverage. But see, they think everybody's dumb and doesn't know. They're like, this is all you need. So people are paying all of this money. And then they're like, what? All I had was 100, but I have 4 cars. It should be 400. And again, because they think, nobody knows this stuff. Nobody knows to look at these things. And the thing that we're fighting right now that hopefully we can go to the Supreme Court and change is the same thing with MedPay. They charge you per vehicle, but you only need it on 1 vehicle to have the coverage. But if you have it on per vehicle, they should stack that coverage too. As I said, there's so much. And so I tell people all the time, just call me and I'll explain to you what you have, what you should have, and how to make sure you're covered.
Jeez,
Go ahead and tell her number 8.
This is really good information. So I just knew liability and full coverage. I didn't know there was like all that little side shit.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so much that they do not explain to you when you're purchasing your insurance.
No, I just want that money.
Well, no, instead of
Mhm.
people like, especially young people, we just like, I just know I have to get it, so fuck it. You know what I mean? I want to
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
And then there's so many things that I don't like. If you are a woman and you're under 25, you're gonna pay more insurance than that somebody who's older than 25. Once you turn 25, your insurance rates will go down.
Yep.
If you get married before you're 25, your insurance rates will go down.
Isn't that
Obviously,
weird?
also your cover, like your
Gee.
driving history, that all goes to it. And now they also add your credit history, and that's how they come up with how much your rates are, what you're gonna pay. But all of that stuff comes into play.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
Jesus. All right, all right.
Go ahead, number 8.
What common mistakes do people make after getting into an accident that can hurt their case?
So the biggest thing people do is they don't go for treatment. I will have people call me and I'm like, when was your accident? Oh, it was, 90 days ago. Did you go for treatment? Well, I've been having this pain, but didn't go. Like, insurance is looking for everything and anything to pay you very little on your case, if anything. And the first thing they look at is how long did it take you to go in for treatment? So you want to go in for treatment as soon as you can.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
everybody needs to go to the emergency room. You can go to the urgent care, your primary care. You can go to a chiro. I mean, there's so many places you can go to, but you want to go sooner rather than later, because then what the insurance company is going to do, oh, it took you 2 weeks to go to the doctor. That means something happened. You got injured something else. It wasn't this auto accident.
Right.
So you want to go in sooner rather than later.
Me.
Mm.
All right. What are some misconceptions people have about injury law?
So the biggest thing I hear all the time is, oh, you're ambulance chasers. You're always following the ambulances and the accidents.
Like physically chasing them?
That's what they say. I
And,
mean,
like, handing your
that's
card,
the biggest thing I've
like,
heard.
hit
Yeah.
us up.
Well, you know,
Okay.
if you pass by an accident and you're like, here, call this number, you can get a ticket for that. You
Dang.
can't do that.
It's all poaching.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, there's so many attorneys out there. You can put in auto accident. You know, you'll get 50 of them that come up on the internet.
Right.
So there's so many of them, and there is, just like in every profession, one person does something bad and it makes everybody look bad.
Right.
I have been doing this, like I said, for over 20 years. I've worked with several attorneys, and I've seen a couple bad ones, but there are so many good ones. And I pride myself in what I do. I'm constantly working all the time, continuing to help people.
Dang, that was the next question.
There's people that, you know, that when I worked at one law firm, there's this lady that had called me at the new one, and she's like, oh my God, I saw you on the radio. I've been looking for you. I was in another accident. I'm like, I'm not even an attorney. I'm the paralegal. Oh, you're the one that does the work. I need you. And so we do this because we want to help people. I strongly believe in karma, and what goes around comes around. And if we're not doing good for our clients, you know, we're not going to have clients that come back. You get repeat clients. That's another thing, is if you're in an accident, your chances are higher of getting into a second accident versus somebody who's never been in an accident.
Crazy.
And in Colorado, there's an accident every 6 minutes. So I mean,
Snow.
like, there is so many, and so it's like, you want to do a good job. If you do not do a good job, people aren't going to come back to you.
Right.
And it isn't just your clients, you know, the people that are in the accident. It's the doctors that we work with,
Yeah.
the chiros and stuff. They're not going to want to work with an attorney that's been like, every time there's a client over there, they don't want to pay me, or they want to pay me pennies or something. You got to take care of everybody that works in your circle, and that's just every profession, no matter what you're doing. If you're a doctor, you don't want to treat your patients like, you know, crap, and then think, oh, I'm going to refer them to the specialist. Like, no, they're going to be like, no, this guy is not, you know, a good one. We don't want to do that. So I pride myself, and the attorneys that we work with, we pride ourselves on taking care of our clients, making sure they're good. You can have all the money in the world, but if I couldn't get you to the treatment that you needed to get better, that's not a win. That doesn't help anybody.
Yeah.
And
Quit
so
reading the
you-
questions
you-
over there.
you have-
She
you
answered.
know,
We couldn't
I
even ask
know.
her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Mind
like,
your business.
I can talk about this stuff all day long. Like, there's just so much of it
It
that people
is.
just don't know. And, you know, unfortunately, attorneys do have bad raps, you know, because like I said, you hear one that does something bad, you know, he was taking clients' money, making fake claims, whatever it is, and it just makes the rest of us look bad, but we're not all bad.
I just found out too that, like,
You gay?
I just found out though, like, 'cause I had my car under my dad's address for my insurance, and then when I did it to my house, to my address, my insurance went
Way up.
because where I live, and I never understood that, and I was like, what?
Yeah, they also look at where you live at, and then if you switch to, I always say is, you know, put them together. You can have you and your dad together. If his name's on the car too, you know, a lot of times when you're younger, your parents are helping you finance. There's nothing wrong with having both of you guys on there. It will help your rates get lower, but they also look at where you live at,
Yeah,
wherever your mail goes to. But
it's crash central where I live.
Yeah.
A pothole central for sure.
Fuck,
Go
because all this
ahead.
construction.
Go ahead, number 12.
Number 12. Can you talk about some of the crazy cases you that have stuck with you?
oh, there's so many cases. So we had this one client that you always think of this in work comp, because in work comp people scare you and they're like, oh, the insurance company's going to follow you and see what you're doing, where you're going. But the personal injury claims, they do that too. This lady we had a client, she had a slip and fall case and an auto case. And she was, you know, adamant, I need hip surgery. And so we're doing everything we can, getting her to the doctors. I'm ordering records and stuff. I'm checking on her all the time. And I go and I'm, you know, looking online, see, you know, because we find everything out. People think that, oh, if I never mention this, then nobody's going to find it out. We find everything out.
They're a lot more tech savvy than you guys think.
Yeah. She's telling me, I need this hip surgery. I can't even walk. I can't do this. I can't do that. I look her up on Facebook. open up her Facebook page. The first thing is there's the little link to her fans only.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, to the OnlyFans. Her link is right there. And then you know how like you have a little picture or whatever, you can have a video. She's twerking. I'm like, you need a hip surgery and you're twerking.
Oh, shit.
Like,
Make it
you
make
know?
sense.
I'm like, I don't get this. And not only do we as the attorneys, I'm not looking to find bad stuff, but I'm just like, I'm only as good as the ammo that I get, and that's
Right.
from your medical records, from what I find on you.
Twerking, busting it
This
open.
is public information. You don't think the insurance adjusters
Yes.
are looking and saying, hey, let me look and see what this person's got going on.
She's
And
out
so I'm
twerking
like,
with her fucked
They're
up.
I
not-
can see this, yeah. And they're gonna be like, okay, she needs a hip surgery.
They're not even following you. You're just snitching on yourself.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
damn.
it's right there. Yeah, so I mean, it happens all the time. I've had a couple other clients, and they're like, "Yeah, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. It hurts to walk. I have to walk with a cane." And I had an insurance adjuster be like, well, I'm on their Facebook, and I'm seeing they were skiing, like 2 weeks after the accident." And
Well, didn't you tell me like once too, like
What the
like
fuck?
you can't go to the gym and shit. Like there are investigators
Well,
that will follow you to the gym.
So the majority of it is when I see it is when it's a work comp claim, because on work comp, if you can't work, they have to pay you your salary, or if they can't give you some kind of light duty.
Yeah.
So if you're saying I can't work, and then they see you're at the gym, they're going to be like, how is it that you can't work, but
Yeah.
you can come to the gym?
But
Make it
people-
make
But
sense.
people
Yeah.
do it.
Come
People will
on.
do it.
Yeah, just like there's bad attorneys, there's bad clients too. And like I say, they think you're never gonna find out. You're gonna find out. Like we'll have clients, and I'll be like, "Hey, were you ever in an accident before?" "Nope, this is my first one." The insurance company will pull what they call like a deck sheet on you, and it'll say every single claim that you've ever filed. If you called a work comp one, an auto one, a
'cause-
slip and fall one, whatever. And so then I'm gonna go to you. Well, hey, when we signed you up, you said you had no priors. They're telling me this, and
Oh, because there
Oh,
are
I
like
forgot. Oh, I
career people
forgot.
that do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
and
there-
that's why
there
you-
is, yeah.
and you won't, and like, look, I hurt my finger, and like, I've hurt myself once at work, and I felt like if I hurt myself again, like they start like, they even track you, like, watch out for this one, like she claims work comp
Work
or
comp,
whatever.
yeah, huh?
That gets
Yeah,
thumbs up.
there is lots of clients that are like that. Luckily I've not encountered any that are serial ones. I've just had the
Serial.
few that try to tell me like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do
I have
this,
to lean this way because I don't want to look so big.
Come here, baby.
and so yeah, you have to watch that. But she was
Sorry, Mom.
she was one that we had that
Yeah,
was
my mom's right there, bro.
it was I was like, it's hard for me to help you and defend you when this is kind of stuff you're putting up.
Right.
I know. I'm
And
sorry.
and we don't want people to lie. Like we tell our clients, don't lie, don't exaggerate. Say how things that they are. If you can't work, you can't work.
Right.
But you can't tell me, oh, I need hip surgery, and you're twerking as soon as we see your
Shake that
Facebook page.
ass, ho.
I love the way she
Shake
says
that ass, ho.
fans only instead of OnlyFans.
That's crazy. That's crazy because we were just talking about insurance
That's-
earlier. So that was.
This is a very adult. This is a very adult conversation. I
It's
feel
true though, because people, there's some people don't know much.
like. Right. And we're
Yeah.
here. We're here
Yeah,
for all
we'll
of it.
speak.
We're,
We're speaking
guys.
up for everybody. I'd be
Yeah.
asking millions of questions. I'd be like, sorry, but one more question.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's why I say I give my number out all the time. I'm always
Just
telling
like
people,
Chula.
here
No,
it
I
is.
don't,
You got
bitch.
questions, you call me. In anything,
The only
if
question
it's
I got is, you got that money? Sorry. Go ahead.
in any kind of law, even if it's not personal injury, from doing this for so long, like I know attorneys in any field. So you tell me, hey, I need this, I can hook you up with somebody that's gonna tell you how it is, what the truth is, and help you out. I mean, there's very few cases that I've not been able to help people with myself or getting them to the right person.
Well, let's talk about that, okay? Because as her daughter, there's a number, 1-800-ATTORNEY. She used to, it was directly to her phone all the time, and like people would call. What the crazy? Do you remember any of them?
Yes,
Tell it.
there are so many, and they call like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like
Yes.
they're calling all the time.
This is Olivia.
I don't answer that number anymore, and it's
Thank
still
God,
an
yeah.
active number. It's still an
Yes,
active
yeah,
number.
so-
It still goes to a law firm, but
Not her.
They probably
anymore.
hate it.
it's not
No,
me. It's
but
not
go
me
ahead,
that's answering
yeah.
anymore. Yeah, so I got a call one time from this guy, and he's like, oh, I hurt my shoulder. I dislocated it. I'm like, okay, you have to be professional. Find out, okay, what happened? What's going on? When did it happen? Yeah,
Sorry.
I was in this hotel room, and I put my shirt on wrong, and I dislocated my shoulder. I'm like, okay. First of all, I'm thinking like, what the fuck?
How do you put your
How
shirt
old
on?
are you? You don't know how to do this. And then he starts talking some more, and then I'm like, okay, so who do you think you have a claim against? Well, the hotel. I'm like, what did the hotel do wrong? Well, they didn't do anything wrong. I was here when it happened, so they got paid for it. I'm like, that's not
Because
how it
you're-
works.
What?
Because you're a
Yeah,
little
just because you're at a
dee-dee-dee.
hotel doesn't mean they did
What?
something. They have to do something wrong.
right.
Like people think that all the time. They're like, "Oh, I was at the mall and so and so's kid was running around and they hit me and I fell." And I'm like, "Okay, what did the mall do wrong?" Like just because you're at a particular place doesn't mean they owe you money.
Right.
And this guy was adamant with me and he was fighting with me. And then I remember I had told him like, I'm so sorry. I explained to him what has to happen. And I'm like, I'm sorry, we can't help you. I wish you nothing but the best,
Right.
good luck and bye. And then he called me back. I wasn't done. I still had more questions. And I'm like, there's no claim. And
Right.
I think it was because I picked up the phone at 2:00 in the morning. He's like,
Well,
somebody's answering.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to him.
Well, then I remember though, like people who weren't even like didn't get charged yet. Like they did something wrong, and they'd call her and be like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, well,
What the hell?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that wasn't it like a tenant situation too. It was like, hey, I didn't pay my rent, but like, can they kick me out? Like how? Like it's like
Yeah.
the dumbest shit.
It's
Just goes and goes and
Yeah,
goes.
it's because somebody live is answering, and so yeah, I would get calls all the time. Well, this and this happened. I'm like, were you charged? Well, no. Well, if you're not charged, an attorney can't help you.
Right, exactly.
Like
They're trying to be proactive.
it doesn't. Yeah, that's not how it works.
Because the law
Crazy.
is reactive, not proactive. Unfortunately, and I
Yes.
learned that.
But the
Uh-huh.
ideas that people get is just like beyond me.
Yeah. Well, and then you get so many medical malpractice claims too that they're like, well, this, and this. And I'm like, it's so horrible, things that happen. But I'm like, so did a doctor tell you that Dr. A did something wrong or because of what they did or didn't do? No. Then there's no claim. Like they just
No.
don't understand. They're just like, no.
Something's
and I'm
not
like,
clicking.
yeah.
Well, tell them what malpractice
and
means.
so medical malpractice is when you are injured or have injuries or you suffer some kind of, they call it physical impairment
Okay.
because of something the doctor did or didn't do. And, again, when you go and have surgery, they tell you, hey, these are the pros and cons. This could happen, that can happen,
Yeah.
but this is what we're hoping for. So, beforehand, something could happen here.
Right.
Bad things happen if you're in there having surgery and they accidentally,
thought you were gonna
cut
say
an
sex. I was like,
artery or something. No, like cut an artery or something or
Okay.
cut something they weren't supposed to. That's medical malpractice. They didn't do it on purpose. It's just something
It's a risk.
that happened. Yeah.
Right.
And so you would have a claim for that, but lots of people, we get lots of dentist ones. Well, they did this and this and that. Okay, what did they explain to you before you had the procedure? This and this could happen. Well, yeah. Okay, so I don't understand why you think there's a claim.
Yeah.
Why I just don't like the outcome or I don't like this. There is lots and lots of claims, but med mal class cases are the worst, are the hardest ones because the doctors take an oath to take care of their patients. And just like, in any other profession, you don't want to talk bad about another doctor, but you have to have another doctor saying they did something wrong or something that they didn't do is what caused these injuries.
Yeah.
And so those claims are hard to do, but you do get a lot of them. And it's just, people don't understand and they don't know. They're just like, hey, I came out of this wrong. I want someone to look into it. Well, call me. We'll talk about it and I'll tell you if there's something there or not. But they're hard.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and,
let's talk
and
about
people just don't understand.
Let's talk about the hard ones because we talk about crazy, but you deal with sad shit too.
Yeah, so there was another claim that I had, lots of hard ones. One that I remember a lot. It happened a few years ago. They were all young kids. One guy stole a car, and he goes and he gets his cousin. Hey, let's go for this joyride. They pick up a couple of girls, and those pickups that have the second row in the back.
Yeah.
So in the front, they're filled with 3 girls and the driver, and in the back are the 2 guys, and they're in this stolen truck. Well, they end up in some kind of chase with somebody. They hit another car, and it was on Colfax, and I don't remember what the cross street was, but they put those big boulders in front of their buildings, so if an accident happens or a car, whatever, kind of stops them.
Okay.
Target.
They hit that other car. The 2 kids in the black back flew out. That one kid, it'd been a week before he turned, he was going to be 18. His body fell on that rock and he died instantly. The other boy ended up in a wheelchair. Another kid, something was wrong with his leg. He has to permanently walk with a cane. And they were all in a stolen vehicle. And like their parents didn't know where they were. They didn't understand what was. I mean, that insurance on that truck didn't have to pay for anything because it was a stolen vehicle.
Right.
And so the only money they had was their uninsured motorists. And one of them didn't have one because he lived with his mom and they had no car.
Dang.
So he didn't get anything, but because of how we work, how our law firm is and everything, and with the other car didn't do anything wrong either. And I remember that adjuster, he had been around for a long time too. And he's like, look, if you guys can prove that we're even 1% at fault, we would have to pay something. I'm just going to pay my policy. They didn't have to. They didn't have to pay anything. And we, I was like amazed where we pulled money out to pay for those kids. Obviously the driver didn't get anything.
Right.
But all of those kids, we got them some. I mean, it was pennies compared to what they're going to have to live with for the rest of their life.
Right.
But like say, you never know, the uninsured motorist. If you live with your dad and he has his car and you have a car and each of you guys have your own policy, his policy covers you because you're a resident relative. That's how those kids got money. None of them had their own cars,
Right.
but they lived with their parents who had insurance.
Dang.
And so, I mean, again, your insurance doesn't explain that to you. But I mean, there's so many accidents, so many people that die. There was another kid. I don't know if you remember him, Katie. We went to go and sign him up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it
hold
was
on.
years
Because
ago.
imagine, okay, because this is why my mom was so on me about driving. She would take me to these signups and be like, look this is why nobody should be in your car. You don't pick up your friends. Look what can happen to you. You're going to be his friend. And I would go and meet these clients of hers, and they're like people my age, but they're like handicapped for the rest of their life just because they made the mistake of driving with their friends or drinking and driving, like all of this stuff. And she's like, this shit is
Yeah.
real. Like, you take it, driving is a privilege, but it also comes with so much responsibility.
Yeah, and so many things. That poor kid, he was, they were all the neighbor kids, and they went with one girl. I think they
It
were
was like their older sister.
they were driving home. I know she wasn't a sister. She gave them all a ride home, and I don't know if they were trying to be cool or what, but she was driving fast. She ended up hitting a pole, and that kid was only 16, and he ended up paralyzed from the waist down too.
That's sad.
And no seatbelt.
Yeah, no seatbelt.
Nothing.
And because I remember all of them lived in different houses, and then too, I was like, let me see everybody's policies that are here, because they were messed up, and that little boy was sad, and I was probably a fucked up mom for doing that, but I'm like, I want you to see how serious it can be in an what happens in a car. Like she says, it's a privilege. You want to get from point A to point B. Everybody's driving. Like, when I get old, I'm going to drive and I'm going to do this. But you have to understand what can happen. You never know. And I would tell her when her friends would come, like, well, do they have insurance on their car? Like, what's going on with that or this? Because you just never know what's going to happen. And people don't understand. Your auto policy covers your kids when they're in somebody else's car. When these things happen, like, you can't always be, foresight and say this
Poor
and this
you.
and this is going to happen. But I'm like, I want you to
Preach over.
understand this is what can happen. This is a real thing.
Dang.
There's so much good stuff too, but you have to be aware of the bad things that can happen too. Because there's just so many people just get so injured. And because you don't know what insurance it is that you're buying, I think in that case, that kid I think the mom had 3 cars and they were 25. But so you're going to tell me $75,000 was enough and you're paralyzed? You're 16? Like, no, there's never no amount for that. When those people that lost their child, do you think that $25,000 was enough to compensate them?
No.
Like, it doesn't. They don't explain to you what you're purchasing, but I mean, just so many bad things,
It's a scam.
bad things that
Call
happen.
her. Call her.
Yeah, I'll
Show
give,
up.
I'll give you my number.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting those digits
All
before we
right,
leave.
all right.
You can get with Katie, but I mean, there's so many good, so many good ones too, because
Olivia.
with Chula, Chula will give you the
Not
number.
Chula, say it Mexican, bitch.
There's so many good things that's happened too. I've had so many clients that, I feel bad. Like me and my attorney right now. I mean, we're so close. We work so good together. He says, we're family. But I've had so many clients that'll come afterwards and they'll bring me chocolate or flowers. I had one client give me $250. I'm like, I don't need any. This is my job. This is what I do. I just want to show you how grateful I am to you. It's you that's been there working, doing this. Like, you took all of my calls. You did this. You were there for me when it was so bad. But you know what? Thanks to you, I'm 100%. I'm back to the way I was before. This is in my past, and I got some money, and I'm moving on. Like, there's so many good things too that happen out of these cases. They're not all bad. You always just only hear about the bad ones all the time, but there's some good ones that people come out of them, they recover good, and they're able to move on with their life and continue to be successful.
All right, 13 ransom.
Number 13.
Hold on, let me say before she says it.
A minute.
We know that you don't like do all types of law. We know that. You specify in
Yeah.
personal injury, but go ahead, Renz.
Thank you, Chula.
Oh, you're welcome.
How about with all the craziness with ICE and immigration? Do you have any insight information you feel like the audience should know about, or no at all?
Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit. I know enough to, if you call me, I'm going to tell you where to go. But like, just listen to what they're saying on the TV. It's true. You don't have to answer the door if they come to your door. If they're looking for, Juan Carlos and you're Jose Luis, you don't have to answer the door. You don't have to go to them. You don't have to do any of that stuff. I mean, it's just so hard, and it's hard to be like, I'm here, I'm this side, I'm that side, because if you're a criminal, because supposedly that's what they're looking for is criminals. Like, yeah, you don't want criminals, here in your neighborhood or whatever and stuff. But the way they're doing it is just ridiculous. And so I would say know your rights, figure out what's going on, but you don't have to answer the door. Don't be afraid to go to places. Don't be afraid to do anything. If you are, not a criminal, you're here, honestly doing what you need to do. There's so many lies that are going on out there, so many things they're saying, like, just pick up a phone and call.
Right.
They'll answer your questions, that they'll tell you what you can do. I mean, I saw in the school they're giving out information, like you can get information anywhere. But there's just so much help that will help you, churches that'll help you. They have even the senator's office. I don't know. I getting so many emails from them. I don't know if anybody else is, but they're telling you too, like, know your rights. You don't have to do this. The state is standing behind this immigration raid that they're trying to do and collect all of these people. There's so many people that can help you. You just gotta, pick up the phone, look on the internet.
Like, educate yourself.
There's so
a
much,
little bit.
so much help out there that can help you, and not just the adults, but the children too.
Oh, pat me, bitch. All right. Well, we appreciate all the information, but of course you know what our show is about. So we are going to jump into Down in the DM, our favorite part of the show.
DMs.
Do you know what a DM is?
Do you know what a DM is?
A private message.
A direct message.
Direct message.
Do you know where Pound
I know
Town is?
Yes, I know where
Have you
Pound
been
Town
there?
is.
I've been there.
Well, obviously, I have a daughter.
You dirty ass.
I'm dead.
She got 3.
I got 3 of them.
She got 3. She's been 3 times for sure.
Jeez.
All right, Renzo,
Wow.
go ahead and read us one of yours.
Someone said, why do dikes fall out so bad with other dikes? Well, I can't.
What? That's just like, why do men get mad with men? Isn't the
Yeah.
dyke the equivalent of a man?
Because
Yeah.
y'all still some bitches. That's what, I don't know. I think it's weird. I think it's just animosity. I think it's just girls hate how girls hate on girls. You know what I mean?
But
it
gotta be the
shouldn't-
bigger bitch. I don't know.
Larry.
I don't know. I walk into a room being myself, and like there's people that just don't even
I
know
don't
me,
know.
and hey, but at the same time, like at the end of the night, there's always that one that like you're pretty cool, you know that? Like,
Oh my
thanks.
gosh.
Thanks for
Mhm.
reminding me, buddy.
Carrie says that too. That it's I think it's part of the image. Like, you got to be this tough, person. You got to be like
But
there,
the-
and
but
then
2 of them.
and then some of them will be like, because Carrie says all the time, I got so many haters, I got so many, but then they're me, oh, you're so cool, I love you, like, you're hella cool. I'm like,
You're just my
when
les bro,
when you're
bud.
coming in all hard and stuff, like, that's what you're putting off, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, but Ransom is not compared to Larry. Okay, Larry looks like straight hardcore essay, straight, and the Ransom's just cool. She's like, hi, how are you? Larry looks scary, dude. I call her
Scary
Larry.
Larry.
She's like,
Love
what the
her.
fuck?
I love her though. She's down.
Your DMs?
Okay, my DM. You have to do this with me. It says, hold on. It says, Chula, can you lick your elbow?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You're not trying hard enough.
I can't fucking turn it to lick yours. Try to lick yours, bitch. Not you.
I almost could do it. Sick hours.
Right, so
Lick
I'm waiting.
it.
They're waiting for me to burp on camera, but I can't do it in front of my mom, okay?
No, you can't. Ransom.
I don't know who that
Cochina.
was just now. That never
Uh,
Ay,
happens.
perra.
Ay, perras, pinche carrons.
All right. Well, Miss Olivia, you're going to have to teach Ransom Spanish phrase of the day.
Your Spanish phrase of the day is going to be
No chingaderas, okay?
no. So
Puro
you would say
Or
It's-
What?
No, you have to be good. You're gonna
Okay.
show your people who you are. Say, estoy orgullosa de ser latina.
No, I don't
You have to say
even.
it
I don't
slower.
even
So,
know.
estoy
Estoy
orgullosa
orgullosa
de ser
de ser
latina.
latina.
You're saying you're proud to be a Latin woman.
Yeah.
Ooh, drop your panties,
Yeah.
ladies.
Say it again.
Shopping. Whoa.
Say it again. Say it again.
It's hard.
Orgullosa is the word she's
Yeah.
struggling
Yeah,
with.
that's what I'm struggling on.
Well,
Estoy
Estoy
orgullosa.
orgullosa. That's it, dumb.
No, you're good.
Ah.
I've heard worse. She learning. Hey, we can't knock her.
I'm gonna check up on you and come back and I'm gonna see if you remember how to say it.
I remember a
Alright.
lot. I'm trying to figure out the last one she said. It
Oh.
was like hanging titties. What was that one?
No, Wanga.
Wanga.
Chichi's Wangas.
Just-
That was like from your first episode. You should have that
No,
like
we
this.
do it all the time. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for pulling up Miss Thang over there
Miss
from that
Thang
picnic.
Thang. Where'd this
Yes.
girl get her booty from?
Oh, ask her.
Well, I just hope
No,
that
answer her question.
what
Where'd she get her booty from?
from this one. On?
Ow,
I was
damn.
young too.
Okay.
How you think I got 3 babies?
Oh,
They
damn.
don't give that away in Pound Town. You
Damn,
know?
shorty. Damn, shorty.
Okay, count down. Fucking bed over there.
Well,
Alright.
I just wanted to let you guys know, like, I know it's a lot of information. You guys hit, so many people, so many different viewers, and I just want everybody to know, like, you gotta protect yourself. So I'm serious when I said, give me a call, tell me this is what you got, I'll help you out, I'll answer any questions, like, whatever anybody needs, like, that's what we're here for.
I'll be calling.
Aw, love you.
Oh, maybe we can all get dinner and talk about it.
Oh, let's just braid our vaginas. Okay.
and braid them, and braid them.
We're just
And
shaving our
braid 'em.
feet and braiding our vaginas.
I'm not
I
going.
know,
You gotta know what movie that's from.
What movie is that from?
I was
The
just
White
thinking.
Chicks.
Oh yeah. I was like, what kind of Galentine's is this?
Like, what I miss?
All right. Well, we want to shout out to who, Ransom?
Be Good Dispensary, y'all. Check them out off of Broadway in Hampton. Come get some trapping meals. Come smoke some toke. If you ain't choking, you ain't token.
I'm choking.
All right, Mom. Until next time, I am your host, La Chula G.
And I'm La Chula G's homie Ransom.